Dear friend, I always imagined I'd go this way, a 19-hour overnight train ride through the thick forest to get to San Francisco from my hometown of Portland to visit an old friend. I just hadn't imagined it would be with a heavy heart, saying goodbye to my teary-eyed father at Union Station as I set off on a 9-month backpacking trip across Asia, into the wild unknown. But as a poet, naturally, this would be my first stop along the journey. To me, San Francisco feels like one of those PowerPoints where when I visit, something inside of me is activated, like I come into a fuller form of myself. I love this city. There is a part of me that feels like I must have lived here in another lifetime. I was lucky enough to visit during one of those weeks where the city was actually experiencing abnormally sunny weather that makes you think, oh, I could definitely move here, but you don't see its full foggy form. But in its pure essence, San Francisco is a place for poets. Visiting San Francisco felt especially meaningful because an old childhood friend had moved there after college and had for years been inviting me to visit her. I had always dreamt of taking the train down and staying with her and visiting her little world. And now, after having completed and published my poetry chapbook EURYDICE, it felt like the perfect time. It almost kind of feels like a pilgrimage for my poet heart, and a perfect place for me to contemplate and emotionally prepare the days leading up to my big backpacking trip, as San Francisco was still pretty near home and had always seemed to me, because of its location on the Pacific, like a portal to the world. I got anchovies. Wait, no, these are sardines. I got sardines. I've been really craving them. I just want to get the little bones out. Okay, this might seem random, but I bought a can of sardines at the Presidio and I made this little snack which has the oil from the can, a lemon juice, chives, and then I just kind of mash it up. And then now I'm gonna cut this tomato. Cut slices of tomato, put it on a cracker, put the sardines on top, and it was such a delicious snack. During my brief visit, I met up with a local poet named Sophia, who I had been mutually following on Substack for a while. Sophia seemed like she had traveled to the present day straight from the summer of love. Even by reading her essays and poems online, I had hoped that we would get along well. And the conversation we had regarding the craft of writing and transforming into young poets was proof of this. But beyond that, Sophia gave me affirmation, understanding that the pilgrimage I was about to embark on was one that would shape my understanding of the world, and was sure to be the foundation from which my voice emerged from. Okay, this is going to be a recap. I'm packing currently to go to Japan, and San Francisco went by so quickly. I did get to do some things that I really wanted to do, like go to an open mic night, and I met with Sophia, who is a writer, a poet, and she has a Substack. Put that information in the description. We follow each other on Substack, and I reached out because I knew that I was going to come here, and I really wanted to meet her and connect, and also ask her what events that I could potentially go to in San Francisco in regards to poetry, because I really wanted to come here and read poetry and plant my little seed, which is EURYDICE. But then we also got to meet up, and we went to Alamo Park, which is right across the street from the Painted Ladies, and we had such a great conversation. The conversation was in regards to writing, and just that conversation was so affirming, especially to somebody who is a 20-something-year-old and navigating the start of their endeavors to be a writer. It affirmed so much that I was already thinking of I have come to recognize that I need to start maturing when it comes to my writing, because I know that in the past my writing I will kind of surfacely glide over some pretty intense grief. The end of it, the resolution is always like, but things are great, and I know that that is not always the case. Like, I am a person that is able to find the bright sides of things, but I think that now I'm being pushed towards my writing to really mature and like explore more mature themes, such as like womanhood, like stepping into womanhood, and that's not always easy, and talk about grief in a more adult lens, talk about sexuality, reproductive rights, my fears and my hopes and ambitions. Just that conversation was so enlightening. Sophia said something along the lines of like, it's so fun to have all these experiences that make life worth living, but what is so beautiful is devoting yourself to something, such as writing. And I just realized that like, in order to get to where I want to get to as a writer, I do have to devote myself and really discipline myself and do it every day. I found it so endearing that she is now releasing the expectations of like, is my writing good or is my writing bad, and is simply just trying to cultivate a practice of writing and just writing for the sake of writing. And I've come to realize that writing really is just the practice, and the practice is the journey. And through that process, like, I think that the doors will open for me. And for the first time, instead of fearing that discipline and fearing that commitment, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for like, what does it really mean to live as a writer? And I'm excited for what that life will be. Yes, of course.
Feels to have long day, the end of a long week, a long month, and a long year. I got Monday off.
Right now, please give a warm welcome for Jacqueline.
This first poem, I wrote it after I took some flowers from near the sidewalk, and apparently they were somebody's, and she ran after me and yelled at me, and I felt really, really embarrassed and very, very guilty. And I ended up writing this poem about the situation. It's called Stealing Something Free. Morning walk, yoga mat strapped to my back, just replenish body with breath, like spring replenishes earth with flowers. Daffodils grow near street. I pick only 2, sniffing perfume, nose yellowed from pollen, thinking they'll go well on the ofrenda. Sweet smells attract the spirit of ancestors. Suddenly, a woman, pink in the neck and face, chasing me down the block, shoes quickly tied, jacket half sipped, raging, those are mine. Frightened, I say, I am sorry. Whole time believing they were wild, not realizing that flowers could be owned.
Wow. Yeah.
I did feel really guilty. There was a part of me that wanted to give her that poem as an I'm sorry, but it did end up getting published, and I have not stopped picking wildflowers.
Back in the prime, just stepping back in time, and the band went bop, 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 bop.
I'm taking off today, and it's insane. Last night while I was falling asleep, I just felt the reality of what I'm about to do really hit, and I like came to San Francisco, which is not really far from Portland, and I could always like chicken out and like take a 2-hour airplane ride back to Portland. The reason why I came to San Francisco was to give myself a transition period between Portland and Japan. And because when I was in Portland, I was so busy packing and seeing so many people that I didn't really have any chance to be by myself. And so that's what San Francisco essentially was to me, was to give myself just a break. Last night I had this sensation where it felt almost like I was going to jump off a cliff, and I had to trust that my wings worked and that I'm about to fly. And I woke up and there were fireworks going off, and that's kind of how I felt. Anyway, so I've decided to recalibrate. I really don't want to be like traveling with 2 packs. So instead I'm going to try to put everything in my 28-liter Cotopaxi, and I really love how much it fits, and I'm so surprised. I kind of wish now that I had invested in maybe like the 35-liter, maybe even the 40-liter, and just stuck with that, because I just love its compartments. But for now, I think I'm just going to try to put everything in this and into this like massive tote that my friend gave me. And I think that I can do it, and I think it's going to make me feel a lot better throughout the travels. Okay, so this is a brief inventory of what I packed to wear to Japan. So for bottoms, I brought 2 pairs of long light pants, 2 over-the-knee skirts, a black hiking skirt from REI, and the Earth Angel skirt from Indigo Luna. And I put everything in a packing cube to make space. Because I will be teaching at a yoga retreat, I packed 2 shorts, 1 pair of leggings, a reversible sports bra, and 2 other sports bras from Indigo Luna. I also brought a bikini and a black one piece in case we went swimming. Intimates, swimwear, and yoga bras went into 1 packing cube, and all my bottoms in another, and then my tops in a third. For tops, I brought 1 black cami dress, a tank top, the matching tube top for my Earth Angel skirt, 1 t-shirt, and the rest I actually didn't really wear. The green towel is also a yoga mat that I brought with me. I had plans to fly back to LA and put my stuff into storage after my 3 weeks in Japan before heading to Mexico, so this packing was kind of a test to see what I really needed. And I'm actually considering making an outfits I wore while backpacking video, so let me know if that's something that you would be interested in the comments. Some other things is that I brought this fleece for the plane ride, and then I also brought a sarong that really came in handy. For shoes, I had some off-white Hokas to walk around in, and then my Tevas, which are so loved. And that's it. I got these sweet little postcards that are like look really vintage, and they're very cute, very cutesy, very mindful. This one I think I'm gonna send to my, I guess, old roommate now, because it has like a little poem about roommates. This morning I actually woke up and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna go home like maybe next week, and then I realized that I'm not. But there is no home to go, and I must move forward. And that was very ungrounding, but anyway, I'm going to send this to CJ. This one will go to Marcel. This one for my writing mentor. And then this one will go to my nephew. I want to, like, have greater effort to do sweet things for people and just keep in touch. And yeah, I probably will send postcards to different people throughout my adventures, but here are some of them, and I hope my friends have seen this by now and have received it. I did end up sending postcards from every country I visited, and also did little giveaways on my Instagram stories. So if you're interested in receiving one from my future travels, be sure to follow me there and to subscribe to my Substack to read all about my journeys and see my film photography. Thank you for watching this pretty scattered vlog, as I was already feeling pretty scattered about embarking on this backpacking trip. Please follow along for the rest of my travels, and until the next time, stay dreamy.